Today's episode of I'm Too Busy is brought to you by Dr. Saul, better known on Instagram as the Gut Savior. Dr. Saul is a board certified gastroenterologist and nutritionist with over 30 years of experience sharing life changing insights about gut health and longevity. Please visit gutsavior.co for expert guidance on becoming proactive about your health. Hello, I am Christina Flach, and I am the host of I'm Too Busy. And I am so excited to introduce you to Dr. Saul. He is a gastroenterologist. I am so impressed by him because I am all about gut health. So I'm thrilled that he's here and we're going to have an amazing chat. Hi, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you so much, Christina, for having me. It's a pleasure, as
Oh,
always.
it's
Yeah,
such an
thank you.
honor. I am so all about gut health because it really does affect the body, the mind, the skin, everything. And it's really, I love all the years that you've put into this and all your expertise. Um, what first drew you to gastroenterology and to focus on gut brain disorders?
So, entering into the profession of gastroenterology was basically it gives you a combination of experience when you're treating patients. You don't just sit and chat and say and speculate that, yeah, this analyzing your condition and making a diagnosis and all, but it also gives you a hands-on investigative tool by endoscopy, by colonoscopy. So you can always say, okay, it's time to have a look. So you can do something more with your hands than just mind. So this is how I got into gastroenterology because it gave me sitting and talking to patients, but also doing something for them diagnostically, therapeutically through the procedures, through endoscopic surgery. So it was a good blend for me, and that brought me to gastroenterology. But later on, as I learned more and more about it, I understood that as science progressed and as we learned more about the gut itself, that it was such an amazing thing that we have in our gut, and it's called gut microbiome. The gut microbiome practically rules us. We have 100 trillion gut bacteria inside us,
Wow,
and we have only 20 trillion body cells. So we are more bacteria than we are humans. So the question is, why?
fascinating.
Why did we get so much of the bacteria inside us? Why did nature provide us with that? And then I learned more and more that this microbiome, actually, this is just like you're carrying a little baby inside you. They are growing, they're healthy. If they're healthy, you are healthy. And if you take care of them by eating right and feeding them correctly, they are going to produce so many molecules of benefits to you that it's going to affect the whole body. Your brain, it corrects your mood, it reduces your anxiety and depression. And in the heart, it takes care of your heart disease, it prevents that, it prevents colon cancer, it regulates your bowel. These bacteria do everything for us. Even brightens your skin up.
It
It's for
definitely does.
skin, it's skin health. Gut health is not just gut health anymore. It's brain health, it's heart health, and it's a skin health. So it is the whole body that, and the only thing you control is what you're eating, basically, right? So you
Mhm.
have that much in your hands. And if you take care of this microbiome, everything changes in your life. This itself drives me, motivates me to tell people about it, to share this wisdom.
What is like, how do the liver and the gut like complement each other or work in unison? Because I know that the liver cleanses, right? Detoxifies. But so how
Correct.
do so can do is there a comparison to them? Do they complement each other or how does that go?
So yes, so gut actually is your main receptor of everything. It's the only organ that opens on both ends, from the
Hmm.
mouth all the way down. And
Hmm.
it is the only organ that's connected to the environment, that faces the environment. Whatever we breathe in, some of it goes in the gut. Whatever we eat, it definitely goes in the gut. Whatever toxins we take in, it all goes to the gut. From the gut, there is a barrier, which we call, if the barrier is broken, we call it leaky gut. And that leads to too much toxins going. But liver is the main detox organ that takes these toxins and removes from your body.
Hmm.
So this is how, and the gut tries to minimize the work for the liver. So they both help each other. And liver detoxifies everything, but gut prevents too much of injury to the liver by blocking it at that
Oh,
level.
interesting.
And your gut bacteria actually removes these toxins. They are the first one to keep your gut barrier healthy.
Amazing. You practice in multiple countries and trained at top universities worldwide. How has that shaped your approach to medicine and teaching?
So I found that patients are the same anywhere you go. So regardless of which country you're practicing in or where you go to develop a program, you find that doctors and patients, they're doing the um, same services. Doctors are doing services for the patients, and the patients are the same response, more or less, to the medication. They all want to be healthy. They all want to avoid too much of medication and go more into the natural way of healing and also preventing illnesses. So my goal changed over a period of time by seeing different kind of diseases in different places. The common thread was what we're eating. It all boils down to the fact that if we're eating right, then we are taking care of most of our illnesses. And it's the same whether you practice in Europe or Canada or United States or Middle East, wherever you are, you realize that the fundamental question comes down to how we're eating. And what I found is that universally, we are all consuming less fiber today than what we did 50 years ago.
Mm.
In Europe, we have 24 grams per day. United States, 19 grams per day.
Wow.
Asia, about 20 grams a day. Um, Africa, same. India, same. Everywhere you go, you find that the consumption of fiber has gone down, and all the chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease and colon cancers are going up. It's a direct correlation, and it's a universal problem. So, and today we are recommending 30 to 35 grams a day for everybody fiber intake, but we were taking 60 grams 60 years ago. So what
Wow.
happened?
All of that awful junk food that people are consuming. Can you tell me
Exactly.
about starting the first ever sedation-free transnasal endoscopy program in a rural setting? What inspired it and how did patients respond?
Yeah, so this was a different setup for me. I've always worked mostly in academic role in big cities, but I have also taken this project of developing a program here in the rural urban interface. So what we have here is a population that is farther from the centers or urban centers. So here we are developing programs where we can, if you don't have enough of anesthesiologists, if you don't have enough of pediatric surgeons, how are you going to deal with trying to create programs so that this population doesn't end up commuting hours and hours and hours to get access to healthcare, to get
Hmm.
access to the doctors, to get access to procedures. So all of our procedures up till now were done under anesthesia. You travel all the way to Little Rock and you go there to main hospital. You're sedated and anesthesiologist is working on you, and then you put the scope down the mouth into the stomach and you take some samples through the endoscopy and colonoscopy
Hmm.
and all. But what we did here in this rural setup in Jonesboro is that we are providing no sedation, no IV. It's a simple ribbon like a tube, which is very small in caliber, and it just goes, you numb the nose, it goes in, it's a camera, it goes in while the kids are watching movies and stuff through their virtual reality goggles. Within 5 to 7
Wow.
minutes, you go through the nose, you go to the stomach, you take samples, and you come out. while they're just sitting.
Remarkable.
No sedation, no IV, no anesthesia, no surgery, nothing.
I love that.
So, so they are really happy, and we've been able to collect so much data already within a year that I'm presenting this in France, in Paris conference next month.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
For many people who may not know, what exactly is the gut-brain axis and why does it matter for our overall health and mood?
This is a very, very important question. I would say the most important question we're addressing, or you are asking. The gut-brain axis, we have found that the gut and the brain communicate with each other. So we know that the brain, our brain is the CEO, right? It talks to all organ systems. It gives orders to everybody. But the one organ that it communicates very, very effectively, and where the communication is perfectly bilaterally quite on sound footing, I would say it's like a married couple. If the brain and the gut are like spouses to each other, and they talk to each other. So here and they are both equally able to work without the help of other. So gut has its own brain now, as we understand. It has
Hmm.
more nerves than the spinal cord. So,
Wow.
and it is secreting more hormones and chemicals than the brain secretes, sometimes in terms of serotonin, the happy hormone. Gut
Mhm.
secretes 95% of it, and brain only 5% of it. So you can tell, and all these things about your gut feeling, or you are saying that I have a gut wrenching experience, or something tells me things are off. Why is that? Because your gut knows something is wrong even before your brain has processed that information. If you hear
Wow.
something bad news. So gut and brain communicate, but what we have found is that gut microbiome, the bacteria, the trillions of bacteria that are sitting, they are the ones creating this network of communication. So if your gut is healthy, your brain and the mood will be healthy, because they share messages to each other. And if your gut is unhealthy, your mind is going to be. I mean, simplest way, if you imagine, people use this term hangry.
Yes.
There's something truth to it. Your
Hmm.
hunger leads to your mood, right?
True.
Similarly, your gut health leads to your better anxiety and depression control. So now we know that if you have gut health issue like irritable bowel syndrome, you have a 70% chance you're going to have anxiety and depression disorders in your life.
That's remarkable. How do disorders like IBS and EOE illustrate the importance of this connection?
So just like I just mentioned that IBS is the irritable bowel syndrome, and there you have um, different kind of hormonal signals going on, and your gut brain actually connects to each other, and when they are not talking to each other, because your microbiome is damaged. So when your gut microbiome becomes unhealthy with unhealthy kind of food that we're eating, um, then the gut bacteria start dying. And when they die,
Mm.
they don't make those information molecules sending to the brain that things are wrong. They're sending molecules which are saying to the brain that things are not right. And that disconnect leads to the abnormal function of the gut. Then the irritable bowels shows up in terms of cramping, constipation, diarrhea, the irregularity of the bowels. All this start happening because the molecules are all gone awry. And the gut microbiome are not doing their work because they're unhealthy. So when you use the right kind of fiber, the prebiotics, the probiotics, the natural, then your gut microbiome becomes healthy, the communication improves, the brain and the gut are talking to each other, and the gut settles down.
Mhm. In your experience, how much of gut disease is caused by stress, anxiety, or emotional imbalance versus diet and genetics?
So definitely much more than genetics. I would say your diet and your microbiome are are more important. And your brain, when it in the stressful situation, if you're living under a lot of stresses, your gut microbiome dies. They
Mm.
become unhealthy. This is how your gut then gets affected because they are the microbiome prevents leaky gut, prevents inflammation, detoxifies everything, and sends positive messages to the brain. But if the brain undergoes tremendous stress, so we know now that after birth, if even if the mother has gone during the pregnancy a lot of stresses, then
Mhm.
the baby's gut microbiome will be affected. So
Fascinating.
early life stresses, maternal anxiety
Hmm.
and depression, maternal neglect on the baby's early, instead of natural birth, if it's a C-section, all these are stresses, and
Hmm.
that damages and that makes the babies prone to have irritable bowels in the future. Early antibiotic use, for example, damages the microbiome and sets path to future obesity in children. These are all so intricately connected to each other, and it's important for people to realize that.
You have been quoted as saying, "We are all wanderers seeking meaning through the labyrinth of the gut and the mind, the two most mysterious universes within us." You've written beautifully about the gut and the mind as two universes within us. How does your work as a gastroenterologist help you understand not just the body, but the soul and human behavior?
I must confess that that quote itself is actually it's not exactly mine, but it is something that I love and I love to share. I hope I find the author of that quote, but I love it and I made it an important element in my life, and I have grown accustomed to it and I've grown close to it and I believe it in my life to follow that. So the two minds are just like I said, if I were to be quoted, this is my theory about the spousal
Okay.
thing. The gut and the brain being spoused to each other is what I believe in. And that is my would be my quote.
Hmm.
And the gut microbiome is our babies in our body, and we should take care of it the way a pregnant woman takes care of the baby, is my quote and my generation. My generated. So you can quote me on that part.
Okay, I can quote
But
you. I have another quote, and you can let me know if it's yours.
yes, but
Okay,
we do
so
share wisdom from each other over. And another thing that I've always been known to say is that we have to go back to ancestral diet. So say yes to ancestral diet is again my agenda because I want the food to be as natural and as pure as our ancestors used to consume, and less processed is better and better for us.
I completely agree. So here's the quote: "Healing is not only a science of medicine, but also an art of listening to the body's whispers before they become cries."
Again, it's a fascinating one, but not mine.
Okay.
But it's
This line to me is stunning. Listening to the body's whispers before they become cries. What are some of the early whispers our gut gives us that we
that
tend to ignore?
exactly. What a beautiful, beautiful question it is. That so what we're going to know is that immediately your feelings will change. If you're eating right, your immediate feeling would be less guilt and
Mm.
more, and that tells you that something is off center. You will know. So you're drinking water instead of drinking pop, you'll feel you're doing the right thing, right?
True.
So that immediately tells you. And the second thing is, and that your gut motility changes. The motility is the movement of the bowels, depending on the kind of food you eat. If you're going to eat a lot of sugar, then your gut motility gets disturbed and it starts moving faster. And if you eat more fat, it's going to slow down. The chocolate is going to slow your stomach emptying, and so you will have more upper symptoms of dyspepsia, like a little bit of heartburn and something and
Mhm.
gas and all that will tell you that I am off of my target, that I'm not following what I should be following. So it will tell you taking honey versus taking sugar, refined sugar, you will know the difference. And the
Right.
thing is that your brain starts learning. But there's another element inside us that can misguide us. For example, if you are used to taking too much of sugar, then your brain starts demanding more.
Mm.
And if you try to
Well, they
trick
say
your,
it's an addiction, that
it
sugar
is
addiction, they say, is the
exactly,
hardest one to get off of.
absolutely right. And then if you are looking into trying diet stuff, so you are trying to fool your brain by saying that, okay, sugar is coming, but there's no sugar coming because it's all artificial sugar, right? That is not absorbing. So your brain will drive you more to eat more real sugar. So this is
Oh,
the reason why
so
people
remarkable.
those who go on a diet stuff will tend to take more and more of diet stuff because the brain is not getting fooled. But the problem is that this kind of erratic food will also selectively destroy the good bacteria in your gut.
Mm.
So the good bacteria who are thriving on good fiber, high fiber, they are now dependent on this sugar stuff and they don't tolerate it and they don't live long enough. So you are damaging your gut microbiome with that. And that will tell your gut because you'll start having diarrhea, constipation, and those are the signs that tell you that corrective course correction is needed.
Mhm. You're known for being very transparent, no pharmaceutical or industry backing. What misinformation frustrates you most about gut health on social media?
This is again, you're asking very, very important question. So what I feel is that there are qualified people and there are unqualified people, but they all
Mhm.
claim that they're speaking the truth. So this is what frustrates me because people are saying things without the evidence, without solid evidence in the literature, without solid evidence, published evidence. People are saying things and they are saying it as if it's the truth. There's
Mhm.
no, so that is what worries me. And then those who have knowledge, those who have good information, they are trying to market products. That is what upsets me because if you are trying to sell something, but you don't even know what this product is going to do in the long term, how can you sell anything except
Right.
the positive information? And then
It's
it
just
come
morally wrong.
right. And then it seems like there are people who are claiming that this product will make you heal within 7 seconds or 7 minutes. I mean, that your the body has not gotten enough time to absorb that stuff.
It's not even possible, right?
But the claims are there. So people should be able to know. The other thing is that when I try to communicate out of gut, if I say something about like cholesterol and stuff, immediately I get the negative response saying that, hey, you are a gut doctor, don't talk about the heart. But you don't become a doctor without knowing about the heart.
Exactly.
So that's the
Exactly.
funniest thing that I receive. And that comment would come from a lifestyle expert
It's not
from
even a doctor, right?
no, that is
That's
what is the
ridiculous.
frustrating thing. So and then we have dietitians who would say that they can cure this condition. Yes, they can help a lot. Dietitians are fantastic. I love them and I take a lot of help from them. But if they start claiming that they know how to solve gut issues in diseases and illnesses, then it's a line that is being crossed.
Frost agreed.
Like
What are
fitness
three?
expert telling you that this will cure this thing, I would have a second thought about that.
Yes, people need to be a little more discerning when they're getting
Correct,
information.
correct.
What are three gut health myths that you wish people would stop believing?
Um, well, the thinking that the gut works in isolation and that the gut diseases are just gut illnesses and not connected to the rest of the body is the number one myth. The second
Mhm.
is that believing that nutrition education is static. You cannot, that's a myth again, because nutrition, if you have learned something about nutrition, it will change within the next 5 to 10 years.
Mhm.
Seed oils were good, seed oils are bad,
Right.
right? Butter is bad, butter is good. margarine was bad. Margarine is, like, so there's always some things that are going to be, up and down about nutrition. So keeping abreast of all this information is very important, and looking at the source is very important. And then believing that also this is a myth that diet alone will solve everything. Like your cancer is gonna go away, your everything's gonna disappear if you have the right diet. Diet doesn't cure anything, but diet will prevent.
Prevent. I was just going to exactly say
It's
that.
a
Yeah.
preventive approach and a good sustainable maintenance approach that
Hmm.
you can do. Um, so there are, and then again, um, uh, the these are the myths that we need to be careful about. That it's not a static education. That's why you need somebody who's in research, who's doing work with the patients, who is studying and who's a scholar, who is talking about, like, not only practical experience but theoretical experience. And I think the third myth is that if you go to the doctor's going to take care of everything. That is a myth, because unless you are proactive these days, unless you are educated enough, proactive, knowledgeable, get knowledge from anywhere. Even ChatGPT is not completely reliable. I agree, AI is not completely reliable, but get
It
knowledge.
helps.
But get
Yeah, get
knowledge
knowledge.
so
Right.
that you can go to the doctor and be proactive and ask the right questions. Doctors have 15, 20 minutes. If you're not educated enough, you're not going to
Yeah,
get
it's going
much
to be
out
a
of it.
waste. You're not going to get the most out of your
Not
appointment.
out of your doctor. So thinking
Right.
that, without any knowledge, you're going to go to a doctor's office, come out healed, will be a
It's
mistake.
not. Yeah. How many, there's so many detox and cleanse products, trending online and on the market. What's your your professional opinion on those?
So I would be very hesitant to recommend any of those. The reason is that the divine intervention that has designed your body has already provided you perfect detox mechanisms. The first is your gut microbiome. The second is your liver. The third is your kidney. And kidney is redundant. You have an extra one. Instead of one, you
Hmm.
have two. So this liver and the kidney detoxing machine, it's a detox machine. And it's such a powerful machine that you don't really need colon enemas and these kind of cleansing things. If One thing that I've been impressed with, and which I would vocalize here, taking advantage of this situation, or if this exposure, is that if you do some fasting, a little bit of intermittent fasting, your detox machine gets faster and efficient. And that itself is much, much more powerful, much reliable, much validated than any other
That is,
products out there.
well, that is so powerful. My gosh. How can parents spot early signs of reflux or EOE in children before it becomes serious?
Very, very important to know that children will start having symptoms of vomiting. Like if they are throwing up every now and then, they're just throwing up every now and then. And sometimes they're taking a long time to eat. They're
Hmm.
sitting there and chewing and they're using water, keep on imbibing more and more water while they're eating because they're feeling that food is not flowing as smoothly
Hmm.
down. So if you notice these things, that they're chewing a lot, chewing is good, we always encourage, but if it's excessive, and if they're
Hmm.
drinking a lot of water to push it down and they're throwing up every now and then, these are the signs that this may be EOE or acid reflux disease. Mostly EOE. If there is swallowing difficulty, the chances are very high it's going to be EOE, which is called eosinophilic esophagitis, which is an inflammation in your esophagus with allergies.
What are some new promising treatments or technologies you're excited about in the field of gastroenterology?
So the truly the most remarkable thing that has happened in our field is our understanding of the microbiome. and prevention. This is, I think, the revolutionary information everybody should understand. Everybody should understand we are more bacteria than we are humans. And everybody should understand that this is a machinery that is given to you for your complete health benefit. Take care of this machinery, fine tune it with excellent fiber consumption and less stress, more exercises and all. So this is the revolutionary understanding. The second is in the field of therapeutics. In the field of therapeutics, I would say that biological agents, that we have targeted molecules now. Previously, we used to give medicine that would just suppress everything in your body, and that would create a lot of side effects. Now we are targeting small, small molecules that we find culprits. It is almost as if trying to understand, if I give you an example, that a little public create a little nuisance and the government sends the military. You don't need that. Or the government increases a lot of police force to suppress everybody, curfew, put a curfew and put everybody in their homes. That's excessive. This is what we used to do with medicines. We used to give steroids that cut down everything, shut down the whole system. Now we have targeted, like for example, now the government has targeted those special felons or those special criminals that are one and two and three and handful. We target them, we cure the illness. We actually
Mhm.
suppress the disease. So now we
Mhm.
have these criminal molecules like tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNF alpha, against which Crohn's disease medicines have come up, biologics. They hit that molecule, they cut it down, Crohn's disease gets better. So things like that, more targeted approach to diseases, more personalized medicine is what has been the revolutionary work in current medicine.
We're going to take our first commercial break. I'm
Sure.
Christina Flach, and I'm too busy. You know, one of our amazing sponsors is Dr. Saul, AKA the Gut Savior. Always says that the gut is the gateway to everything from energy to emotional balance. And I love how that makes science feel so easy to understand. You can check him out at gutsavior.co for daily tips on staying healthy and thriving. We are back with Dr. Saul. How can improving gut health translate to better skin and hair and overall vitality? I am a makeup artist in my other life, and I have been saying for years to my clients that eating well, beauty is from the inside out. It is not about the makeup, it is what we eat, what we drink, how we live, meditation, exercise. Can you tell me how improving gut health can translate to better skin, hair, and overall vitality?
That's amazing. What you're doing is amazing work. And you are totally right about um, telling people about the nutrition and the skin. And I will tell you that just like there is a gut-brain axis, there
Mhm.
is a gut-skin axis. So there is a direct bi-directional communication between the gut and the skin as well. So I have talked a lot about the gut because gut microbiome is my focus. But there is a second biggest microbiome is your skin. You have so many healthy bacteria in your skin that want to help you, that don't want to give you acne. But if your gut suffers, then your skin will get affected because those bacteria, healthy bacteria that are on your skin, are all connected to the central gut microbiome as well.
Mhm.
So, and the molecules that are secreted by the gut microbiome, the butyrate, for example, these are short chain fatty acids. They are going through the bloodstream to skin, to kidneys, to liver, to heart, everywhere, but to the skin as well, because skin is very vascular. So through the blood cells, everything comes to the skin, and that leads to the downsizing of those unhealthy bacteria which give you acne and and more proliferation of better bacteria that try to prevent acne. So at least from that research, we have understood this much, that there is this direct communication between the gut and the skin. And now we're still learning more. And hopefully I will have more for you if I understand more in the future with more
Yeah, I love that.
research.
What are the most common mistakes that people make with their diet when they're trying to eat healthy?
So the common mistakes are they're trying to see they're following the fads. That is something we don't want to do because
Mhm.
whenever you are trying to follow a fad, that diet which is not natural, you will not
Mhm.
stick with it long term.
I
Okay,
agree.
so and then it deprives you of something else. Okay,
Hmm.
keto diet, lovely. You go keto diet, but if you want it, don't go beyond 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, but you will lose some weight, but you will lose fiber. You're
Mm.
not getting fiber, so your microbiome is not healthy. They're not happy. Long run, in the long run, you're going to suffer with keto diet. So if you go on any kind of fad diet, which is not healthy for your microbiome, it is going to affect you. There is only one diet that has been very extensively studied, and that's Mediterranean diet.
I was just going to say that.
So
Yeah.
that has been studied well and it flies. It really helps people. It really because and it has been shown that even with your Crohn's disease, if you have inflammatory bowel diseases, that is going to be helpful. This diet is going to be helpful for you, not only for weight loss and weight maintenance, but it is also good for Crohn's. It is also good for your heart health. It is good for your colon health. Why? Because it's lean meat mostly. It is less processed
Hmm.
and it has good fat and low refined sugar.
Right.
Those are the principles. So you use the principles behind the Mediterranean diet and you try to incorporate it in your diet. I think that is something I would be a proponent of. If you want
I,
to go for any fad, try going with this.
yes. For people that are busy, like me and you, what are three simple daily habits that supports your gut balance and reduces inflammation?
Okay, so first off, I would say that um, in your diet, use when you use veggies and fruits, more colors and more species, the better. Okay,
Hmm.
so we can make it more colorful and more species. I like to say there are 100 or more species of bananas. They are finger
Really?
bananas, they are plantain bananas, they are purple bananas, they are Cavendish. Cavendish banana is the only banana people are eating. Why did nature produce so many different kind of bananas? When most of us are going to live our whole life without even trying these baby bananas or
Right.
purple bananas. Why?
Which is the most nutritional that you
The
recommend?
variety.
The variety. Oh, so all different ones, not
You
just
can
one.
just try something
Hmm.
different than your regular daily Chiquita banana.
What
There should
about
be more.
purple? Well, exactly. What about
So
purple, like sweet potato?
absolutely. So sweet potatoes have different species. You have
Hmm.
grapes are different colors, of course, we know that. But then rice. Have you heard of black rice?
I
It's the
have.
most special detox machine, actually.
Really?
It is antioxidant rich and it is so good compared to the
Oh, I love
regular white
that.
rice you're going to take. So you have brown rice, you have black rice. Brown rice, if you have wheat allergy, you may not tolerate it. So you have to be careful. But so you try species, different species and different colors. Second is when we talk fiber, we want nuts and seeds in your diet every day. If there, the study has shown a handful of nuts and edible seeds variety every day will reduce the colon cancer risk by 18%.
I do that every
And
day.
you
I
and
have
you know,
raw
but
almonds
you're
every
one of
day.
you know how many people? You're one of 11% of Americans who actually do it daily. Only
That I do.
11%.
Yeah.
So that tells you that we are something we're not doing on a daily basis. And then I would definitely avoid refined sugar and ultra processed and emulsifier. Don't touch
Yes.
those things. Don't touch emulsifiers. Anything that has, I try to avoid that. And the last thing would be if you're cooking, cook with coconut oil if you
Mhm.
can tolerate it. I love it, but many people complain that
I do
the
too.
taste
I think
is an
coconut oil is
issue.
great for a
So
multitude of things.
I think this is it. So you are already a converted person. So
I am. I
I am
am.
just
That's why I
preaching.
find this subject so fascinating because I've been living this for years and I didn't even realize that I was doing all these good things. I just knew that it made me feel good and it
Okay.
made me look good. I could see the difference in my clients. I had a model once come on set. Her skin was completely inflamed. I mean,
Mm,
it was terrible. And we were going to shoot for 3 more days. And I said, look, it's Friday, you have Saturday and Sunday. I need you to make a green juice with celery,
perfect.
and coconut water and ginger. And I put in some power greens, by
So this is
Monday,
what
it was clear. It was
so
remarkable.
So what I tell you is that, we talked about detox, right? So we talked about detox. There are 7 ingredients that the Indian Asians use in their diet, historically speaking. These 7 together is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, detox. They have so many like glucose balance, glycemic index control, blood pressure control. What are these? These are your onion, garlic, ginger,
Hmm.
turmeric, cumin, cilantro,
Hmm.
and scallion. So if you have these things together, these ingredients, you are actually put them in everything you eat,
Right.
and then you are naturally including. So that's one lifestyle change I would recommend, that try to use these ingredients, these 6 or 7 that I mentioned. And then cilantro and mint, not
Oh,
yeah,
mint.
mint.
Yes. I
Yeah,
grow it
I
in my
forgot.
yard. I
So
drink tea. I make mint tea all the
yeah,
time.
mint is the natural, not only breath freshener, but cholesterol reducer, and heartburn relief medication for you.
I love that.
So it's like these things. And the last item I would use it as your lifestyle is that create a culture of having easy access to healthy stuff.
Hmm.
So if this is a Middle Eastern culture I found when I went to their homes. On the coffee table they would have dates, they would have figs, they would have all sorts of nuts. You have pistachio, you have almonds and walnuts and everything there.
I
And
love that.
compared to easy access to potato chips and crackers and cookies, if these are in
Hmm.
front of you, and build your family culture around a kitchen dining table, or your island in your kitchen should be your family gathering. So children see the food preparation
Hmm.
and participate.
Exactly.
And this is what I think the major change will be needed for our children, because we're seeing diabetes, obesity, and fatty liver in children now.
Yeah, I think it's so much more impactful with children, not just to be saying like, oh, eat healthy, but for them to see that you're eating healthy, setting a good example, and starting with traditions of preparing food. I mean, yes, it takes a little bit more time, but I find that people will eat better and drink water. We could get into hydration as well, because that's another one of my favorite topics, because I think everyone's dehydrated.
And that's
Um,
for skin as well. The
exactly.
hydration for skin, yes.
Exactly. But that's so gut health as well. You can't eliminate if you're, dehydrated. I also feel that, people will eat properly if it's available. So if you're hungry, instead of grabbing a candy bar that like I carry around raw almonds, or I carry hard boiled egg, or,
Perfect.
different,
Yeah.
green apple or some blueberries, that
So
I'll eat well. So
right. So when you know that mid-afternoon you're gonna start looking for things around, and in your office there's going to be donuts. So that
not
is
in
the
mine.
time. So that is the time that's good for you. But that is the time when you know that you're gonna look for something. You're gonna have
Right.
a little craving. You are better prepared if you have a boiled egg and a little bit of greens with you.
Exactly. I make green juice every day. I mean, well, I'll make it enough and I'll put it in mason jars for like 2 days. And I have power greens, broccoli, celery, blueberry, beet. What else do I have? Ginger.
You nailed it.
I
This
have
is
everything in
this
there and I
is
have that. And so it's what I do for, I have the water and lemon first thing in the morning, then the green juice, and then some protein. So we're going to shift a little bit here.
I should put you on my Instagram and just do it promote it through
Any,
you all the time.
oh my God, anytime, anytime. I'm like, I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying this. You're also a poet and children's author. How do writing and creativity help you maintain balance as a physician?
No, this is my yeah, it's been my passion and my interest and as a creative outlet. I love to write, and when I and poetry I inherited from my mom. She used to be writer and a songwriter and singer as well.
Oh,
Beautiful voice she
nice.
had. So from early on, I've been writing in two languages and poetry, and so I feel that it gives me I initially wrote a book about my experiences and more in terms of poetry because I feel that poetry is a little abstract, so people may not feel it so intensely. If you're writing, it can be crude, but if it's poetic, you may take some punches while it's like, it's in the, it's wrapped well, so you don't feel it too hard. So I feel that as an outlet, I like to write. And children's is like, I think children need to be involved early on. And I think in everything we do, I find that connecting with children has been a great, a very special experience for me when I treat children.
How
So
many children do you have?
I have two daughters. One is going to be in college soon, the other's graduated already. But
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you.
That's lovely. Okay, we're going to do some rapid fire questions. Coffee, tea, or green juice to start your day,
You can't beat green juice.
right? That's my guy. Where's your happy place?
Um, my happy place is during my walk. My walking, is my meditation.
I love that. I do too. I do the same. What's one food you'll never eat again after studying the gut?
Um, Nothing against um, a food which has more than six ingredient.
Ah, that's a good rule to live by. That's a good one. What do you do when your day isn't flowing?
I meditate because I find that taking a few seconds, taking a few minutes in peace, and you
Hmm.
can do it anywhere. You can go to your car, shut the doors, and just leave a little window and just be close your eyes and just meditate. And I do that, and you can do it in office, you can do during, like any time when you feel like you need to be centered. Meditation.
Yes. If your gut could talk, what would it say right now?
Um, it would say, keep at it, keep trying, keep doing your best.
That's good. What's your favorite healthy comfort food?
Honest or dishonest?
Both. Both. Look,
Um,
look,
a
I
bite of
do,
a bite of a bite of brownie.
oh, yummy.
but
Very
but
dark
but
chocolate, right?
but dark chocolate,
Only, of
yeah,
course.
and homemade,
Of course.
because then we know how much sugar we're putting in and what we're putting in, brown sugar or whatever,
Right.
or honey.
And I use coconut oil in mine.
Exactly, that's what my wife does all the time. So
Yeah. I think we went in this earlier, but if there's one myth about digestion you wish would disappear forever, what would that be?
um believe that anything that we eat is going to be digested the same way,
Oh, that is interesting. Okay. That's a good one.
because everything is taken in and processed a little differently, and everything will have its consequences.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Oh, early, early. very early.
I already knew that. Of course we are. How
3
could we
a.m.
not be? What's one small daily habit that makes a huge difference for your gut?
For me, it's my routine nuts and seeds.
Yep. Yes.
That is, I look forward to it. And I enjoy it with the banana always.
Hmm.
I teach my younger children to play with squeeze a little bit in the bananas, the nuts that they like, and eat banana with the nuts and sprinkle the
Yum.
seeds on it. So
That
that
sounds
way
nice.
they're
What kind of
getting
seeds?
chia and flax are the best.
Yes,
The
I do
best of
those.
the best, the chia and the
Yes.
flax seeds. But hemp is good, all other seeds like
Hmm.
you come sunflower, they all have their benefits. But
Probiotics.
nothing beats chia and flax.
Okay, those are good. Probiotics, always, sometimes, or only when necessary.
Probiotic in the natural form,
Hmm.
always. A
Always,
natural
yes.
form, right? So
Yes.
yogurt, which has live cultures in it, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, sourdough bread,
Hmm.
and make your own pickles without the vinegar. Just salt and water pickles, any vegetables, you should be your daily probiotic regimen with a little bit of yogurt. You're done.
Oh,
You're done for the day. No need to buy outside supplements. Outside
perfect.
supplements are only when you have illnesses, gut is really disturbed, and the gut is really disturbed. That is when you can do a short course of a few weeks, but probiotics stop working the moment you stop using it.
Mm. What's the most underrated food for gut health?
Um, I would say people don't take to the chickpeas and lentils.
Mm,
They are solid. They are really, really great prebiotics. And prebiotics are, what feeds your healthy gut bacteria, which are the
hmm.
probiotics. So the prebiotics should be, when we take prebiotics, I don't mean supplemental prebiotics, but all the soluble fiber are prebiotics.
Hmm.
So when you take the lentils, the beans of all kinds, the chickpeas,
Hmm.
if you're not taking it, you're missing out a lot on. These are underrated, but most important. A cup of lentils, a cup of chickpeas gives you 40 grams or more of fiber.
Oh,
Only a
wow.
cup of chickpeas, a cup of lentils, a cup of black beans.
Interesting. What's your favorite city you've ever lectured in and why?
Um, Boston, because I found my wife there.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Poetry or science, which comes more naturally to you?
Poetry.
Nice. What book changed your life?
There were several, but I would say Conversation with God was one of the book that made me think differently about faith and how we interpret things and how we listen to our conscience.
Oh, I love that. What is one wellness trend that you actually love?
Um, I have somehow fallen for Pilates
Oh,
because
and another one of my favorite things I do.
yeah, I think there's some real, if you have, like me, some body posture or some
Hmm.
chronic aches and pains of back and stuff, Pilates has revolutionized my outlook and has changed my physique and has given me it gives me such an impetus for movement, for to get go, to going and going further.
What is one thing that your patients do that make you smile every time?
Um, they believe that they're taking high fiber by taking some fruits and vegetables. Because their understanding of fiber just stays at a little bit of green here and a little bit of green there. So if it's a huge burger with a little lettuce and tomato, you're done. So that really makes me smile because now we have to talk. Now we have to sit and chat.
Now we have to have a real conversation.
Conversation begins.
Yes, yeah. What have I not asked you today that you'd like to share?
Um, I think you have covered everything, and I think the most important thing is to again be very, very careful where your information is coming from
Hmm.
and verify and be your own proactive person. So get your knowledge, arm yourself with there's no harm in learning a little bit more about like what your symptoms are, what could possibly be, and then talk to your doctor. And if one opinion doesn't satisfy you, seek another opinion. I
That's
don't
so
mind,
important.
yeah, I don't mind anybody telling me I need another opinion. I say you're welcome, and I will find a person who has a little bit more gray hair and more smart and more wiser than me, and I'll tell you who that
Tell you who,
person is.
right.
So I'll get you a second opinion. So, I have no ego issue.
I want to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Dr. Sal, the brilliant mind behind gutsavior.co. With decades of research and teaching at top universities, he's helping people around the world take charge of their gut health and longevity. Please follow at Gut Savior on Instagram and learn how you can become proactive in your wellness journey. I'm Christina Flach. I want to thank Dr. Sal so much for being here today. This has been just so fascinating, informative, and honestly, my favorite subject. So thank you for being a guest on I'm Too Busy. I'm Christina